Peace and love. This is your humble brother Crumb, and I'm on the live with my good brother D Calico. And this is the late night show. No kids allowed. Brother, we got the Zelda game Decoded, the occult of video games. But first, brother, can you tell?
It's your boy D Calico, a major affiliate of Crumb TV, always and forever. You know how we do. Just tapping into the court of video games. I'm your local etymologist. You know, I'm here to enjoy the show like y'all. Peace.
And brother, this is kind of a series we already did. Mario, I did it again with brother Sergio. But yeah, we're going to be on to the next one. We're going to stay in the lead. Without further ado, should we pull this up? What do you think?
The show.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. Um, on my side, I got this good article from, I think, let me just look at it real quick. This is ZeldaDungeon.net. Legendary Pictures, a look at Zelda's Arthurian roots in Excalibur. And when we say Arthurian, we mean of Arthur. And just to put that out there, that's King Arthur. Um, I'm going to start reading this article, and I'm going to share your screen, and I'll pull mine up when I'm going to the next thing.
For sure, brother.
Okay, so it's beyond doubt that the myths of King Arthur are the mystical sword. I'm sorry. It's beyond doubt that the myths of King Arthur and the mystical sword Excalibur influence many aspects of the Zelda series, particularly in Ocar- Ocarina of Time, particularly in Ocarina of Time. As a result, Excalibur, based on Le Morte d'Arthur by Thomas Mallory, is possibly the most Zelda like movie that can be found. The film's settings, characters, and depiction of the hero's journey have a clear connection to the core elements of the Zelda series and thus succeeds in bringing the core elements to the Zelda series to the big screen in a satisfying way. Um, and I just wanted to confirm this was what you had wanted me to read, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because the sword and the stone is where we get the King Arthur, the legend from. You know, the power was that whoever was able to pull the sword from the stone was the chosen one or the king. And that's the same thing with the Zelda story. With the is the Excalibur sword compared to I forget the exact name of the sword in Zelda, but they're all one and the same. And on a later date, we're gonna definitely tap in to let y'all understand that who we calling King Arthur was a Moor, but that's for a later date in time. We just we trying to get you right, get you slightly caught up.
Absolutely. Just want to give a shout out to the family in the building. We got Michael Phoenix says peace family. Jeremiah say straight West Coasting. We got Kaiser. Are you going to cover Majora's Mask? I'm not sure what's particularly in this article, Kaiser, but we'll see what's good. And also Twitter, Brian J. Wash chiming in. He says Master Sword. All right, so with that said, family. Oh, also, it's my sister Eve. She says, "Peaceful night, family." We definitely in here. So with that said, comparing Excalibur to the Zelda series. All right, so let's see what we got. There are numerous similarities to Zelda in this film. Hercule Hyrule is usually in a medieval-like era in most games, and this is the time frame in which Excalibur is set as well. Thus, Hyrule itself could be likened to Camelot. As we see in the movie, Britain is fragmented with no common government until Arthur sets out to unify the land. As Merlin says, one land, one king. And this proclamation is fulfilled with Arthur's builds when Arthur builds the kingdom. In Okari in Co in Ocarina of Time, we hear a similar tale of a unification war leading to peace between the races of Hyrule and recognition of Hyrule royal family as the land's head monarchy. The Lady of the Lake is integral to Excalibur as she provides aid to Merlin and Arthur. She gives Merlin the sword Excalibur so he can choose a king. About midway through the movie, Arthur calls upon the sword's magic to win a fight he should have lost, resulting in the blade breaking by his vanity. Recognizing his fault, he throws the sword into a pond. Shortly thereafter, the Lady of the Lake appears to repair it. Both the lady and her actions remind us that the great fairies in Ocarina of Time, with her majestic way of rising from the water to offer a helping hand, literally. Um, what is this you got up right here, brother?
Yeah, that's the old Gerudo symbol. The Crest of Gerudo, which is like in the Zelda series, one of the main places in Hyrule. And, hold on, I'm gonna go back to right here, give us a better look at it. This is what they would call the new Gerudo. See, this is what we're looking at in that last image you just saw. But the new Gerudo is like the back of a serpent. That's where they get that symbol from. But the old Gerudo, as we can notice, it was a crescent and star. Huh? So this show had a lot of symbolism. Just like when they talk about the Triforce, they're gonna talk about the Triforce a lot. These three triangles are the Triforce. You can even see it right here in the Highland Crest. You know, even right here you're seeing three triangles. You remember, but that's the Trinity. This is the Triforce in the Zelda series. And this is like a serpent also, but what you really looking at when we look at this old Crest of Gerudo, it's like the modern day Islamic crest. It's real deep.
The crescent moon and star.
Yeah, and even how in the third dungeon of the first quest in the original Legend of Zelda was shaped like a left-facing swastika. It's known as a manji. That's why, like me and Brother Taz, I always tell him, I say this is what I call, decoding Jumanji. You feel me? This is where you get Jumanji from. Ju actually Ju means gentle. You feel me? And we knowing that, this is what they call in the swastika is really a manji. The shape is actually a manji, which is the Buddhist symbol of good fortune. Therefore, the dungeon did not cause controversy in its original release in Japan. But yeah, it got a lot of symbology in it, especially with this old flag of this old Gerudo that we was just looking at when we was right here with the Crest of Gerudo. This is showing the more modern one, pretty much what they probably Zelda used instead. It still represents Nagas. This is not what people understand. It still represent us, the Nagas, but it goes over more heads, so this is more accepted than just putting that star and crescent.
Yeah, it's interesting you spoke about the Nagas. Patty Mayo says the crest of Gerudo is a reoccurring symbol in the Legend of Zelda series. It depicts the back of a king cobra.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was just saying.
I can see the king cobra in this picture, the back of the king cobra.
Yeah, with this flailed out neck.
Right,
Yeah,
the hood.
yeah, yeah. Um, like just some of the characters that live in Hyrule. Part of that fight for peace and for unification that they were speaking of. That's just some of the characters. The
Right.
Gorons, which really like rock people. So that leads me to thinking about how we have a lot of structures that look like giants and animals, and they're rock. You feel me? They're stone. You feel me? And they had legends, in other cultures, to the point that they put it in the Zelda video game. You feel me? To show you the Goron people. You feel me? That were pure rock. Like sometimes confused for mountains. You feel me? Or bodies like boulders. Yeah, which is
Teach.
one of the characters.
Now,
This is the crest of the Gorons, the one that looked like the ancient foot, dinosaur like footprint with the Triforce basically still a part of it.
right. I was going to continue reading.
Go ahead, brother.
So, the Master Sword is oftentimes referred to as a legendary blade, and Excalibur is likewise called, or actually, here, let me just put this thing. I got a gnat bothering me. And let me see if I can. I guess that's good enough. The Master Sword is oftentimes referred to as the legend as a legendary blade, and Excalibur is likewise called a legendary blade and mystical sword in the movie. Additionally, the Zelda series' iconic weapon is usually driven into its pedestal and can only be pulled out by someone in the future who is worthy. So, its comparison to Excalibur is remarkable. In Excalibur, before dying, Arthur's father drives the enchanted sword into a stone, and Merlin proclaims that whoever draws the sword will be king. Naturally, only Arthur manages to draw it from the stone by his birthright, giving him an even stronger resemblance to Link, the main character from Zelda. Arthur and Link also share a common misfortune. They never met their parents. Arthur's father, Arthur Pendragon, bargained with Merlin so he could fulfill his lustful desire of the Duke of Cornwall's wife, Igraine. What Merlin wanted was the child they bore together so the future king would not grow up pampered. In Ocarina of Time, Link's mother takes him into the Kokiri forest to escape the war being waged in Hyrule, and she dies of her wounds after entrusting him to the great Deku tree. Though Link's separation from his parents happens under different circumstances than that of Arthur, their shared status as orphaned heroes demonstrates the similarities in their characters and in their respective journeys. Uh, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see the picture here of the knights at the round table. Once Camelot is built, Arthur sets up the round table. The knights of the highest stature get a seat at the table, where matters that affect the kingdom are discussed in a private forum setting. This is a lot like the Chamber of Sages in Ocarina of Time, which offers Link and the sages a private area to speak, as it is one of the only places untouched by Ganondorf's influence.
Yeah. He's an important character. The tribe they're gonna speak of the tribe that he comes from, but the Ganondorf, like they're so matriarchal, and it's really going like almost primordial, talking about like how when it was only women, because this tribe produces women to the point that they only produce one male like every 100 years, and when they produce a male, he's automatically a king. So, it's like the Wakanda story too. How he had the women soldiers, women warriors. Ganondorf, that's all he had. He didn't have nothing but his whole nation was women, and he was the man. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But they also look at him as the god of the underworld. You know, so like he's like a devil. You feel me? But he got all the divas with him.
Interesting dynamic. Finally, the Holy Grail, a relic sought after in Excalibur. I'm sorry, let me start over. Finally, the Holy Grail, a relic sought after in Excalibur, reminds us of the Triforce. The Holy Grail is an elusive relic that the knight Percival obtains by reaching some sort of higher dimension. When he brings it back to Arthur, it restores the king's spirit, and Camelot flourishes back to life. The Triforce is the most coveted relic in the Zelda series, often hidden in the sacred realm, a higher dimension connected to Hyrule that is difficult to reach. In Ocarina of Time, the legend of the Triforce, which the great Deku tree recites, mentions that the relic is the basis of the land's prosperity. Much like finding the Holy Grail leads to the revival in Camelot. Excalibur and Zelda both incorporate the hero's journey. Shall I continue, or did you want to add something to that?
You could just show that other page right quick so they can see the Triforce. Well, the Triforce is actually right there in front of them. It was right there in front of them, but yeah, like we were saying, the Trinity, and those three triangles. You feel me? And it just has a one in, the hidden one in the middle, unseen, the Amen.
So I'm seeing the Triforce, the one at the very top. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah, that's the same thing in front of Link. That's the name of the character who's that's their name for the character that's really uh King Arthur.
Um, I had wanted to say, and I think this is my first time saying it. It's on my heart. It's in my spirit. Just to
Mhm.
let the family know that I am taking birthday donations.
Sure.
So for my birthday, you can send me a donation uh, on Cash App, money sign Crumb TV, semicolon, money sign Crumb TV. So I this is officially Scorpio season. Money sign Crumb TV. Um, if you want to, if it's on your heart, if it's in your spirit, if you believe that what we do on this platform adds value, then send your brother a birthday donation. I'm going to ask for $15 because my Earth Day is on the 15th. It's on the 15th, so I'm looking for $15 donations. That's at Cash App, Money Sign Crumb TV. So with that said, shall I continue reading, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, aside from these similarities, the core presentation of both the film and some Zelda games are nearly identical by virtue of loosely following the template of the monomyth. The monomyth, or hero's journey, is a cycle commonly used in mythic narratives. In summary, the cycle is comprised of three major parts: departure, initiation, and return. A hero lives an ordinary life until they are called upon to depart on an adventure. Once they answer the call, they must venture out into the unknown and complete a series of trials. They then face the greatest ordeal, and after emerging victorious, they gain some type of reward, either physical reward or some personal knowledge or growth for the hero. In Excalibur, Arthur lives as a squire in a village of commoners. He accidentally pulls Excalibur from its stone, and Merlin set him on the path to become king to unify the land. Arthur ventures out beyond the village he grew up in and faces many trials, such as battles alongside his knights in the quest to build Camelot. When the kingdom is established, Arthur becomes exalted in an almost divine manner, i.e., apoth- a apotheos. How? What is this word, brother? Can you make heads or tails of it?
Oh no, just not turning back. Oh yeah, apotheosis. You know,
Apotheosis. That's it.
or apotheosis. Yeah.
Apotheosis. When the kingdom is established, Arthur becomes exalted in almost a divine manner, i.e., apotheosis. Then,
You know, Theo means God. You know, we know that. That's why they're
right,
saying this is divine. Like this was godly.
indeed, then Arthur faces his ordeal. His wife and his greatest knight, Lancelot, commit adultery together. Additionally, his half sister Morgana uses her magic to take form of Arthur's wife to become pregnant with a child to succeed the king. She bears a son named
Mm, more, yeah, more dread.
Mordred,
Yeah,
and due to his incestuous origin, Camelot falls under a curse. Arthur's spirit is broken due to all the tragedy. Only the Holy Grail can mend him. Percival takes the burden of the ordeal and obtains the Holy Grail, restoring Arthur's health so he can rally his knights one last time to kill
yeah.
Mord-
His
Mordred.
son, his son, yeah, Mordred. Yeah,
Before the battle, he finds his wife Guinevere leading a life of a nun. They end up reconciling, and she gives Arthur Excalibur. Moreover, during the battle with Mordred, Lancelot joins in turn the tide in favor of Arthur's army, but collapses due to old wounds. The king resolves his bitterness towards Lancelot, and the great knight dies with honor. Arthur kills Mordred, but is fatally wounded after the victory. In the end, Arthur is changed by being able to forgive and owning up to his own shortcomings. His reward is gaining access to Avalon. What a powerful picture.
it's a,
Moving on. As for Zelda, many of the games follow the monomyth also, but in this case, Ocarina of Time is the best example. Link grows up Kokiri, in Kokiri Forest, and is called upon by the Great Dooku Tree to go on a quest to save Hyrule from the evil Ganondorf's plotting. He leaves the boundaries of the forest for the first time in his life and faces many trials, such as dungeons and boss battles. This leads to the hero of Time's ordeal, which is facing Ganondorf. With the help of Princess Zelda and the sages, Link weakens Ganondorf so the evil king can be sealed into the gap between dimensions. With Hyrule saved, Princess Zelda uses the Ocarina of Time to send Link back in time to live out his childhood. According to Hyrule Historia, he uses his knowledge of the future to prevent Ganondorf's rise to power. The hero still has the Triforce of courage as well to collaborate his story to the King of Hyrule. His tale of time travel becomes legendary, especially between Ocarina of Time and the Wind Waker, where we see statues and paintings dedicated to the hero of time. According to legend, the people portrayed the people prayed for his return when Ganondorf broke his seal. So he did gain apotho apotheosis after his adventures. Conclusion. To conclude, Excalibur is a good movie in its own right. It's seen quite a few movies based on Arthurian legend. And out of them all, this version is the one I enjoyed the most. The use of Carl Orff's O Fortuna is so epic. There are some memorable scenes too, like Merlin using the charm of making to transform Uther into a doppelganger of the Duke of Cornwall. Arthur fights with Lancelot that breaks Excalibur, and Arthur's encounter with Mordred. This movie also features Patrick Stewart and Liam Neeson in some of their first minor roles in films, which I thought was pretty cool. Furthermore, the connections between Zelda series and the Arthurian legends cover the Excalibur feel conspicuous. In addition to the points already established, there are still more connections that could be made, such as Helia's role in Skyward Sword being a lot like Merlin's, and the importance of knightly chivalry or heroic bloodline in the film and in some in some Zelda games. Surely in Zelda's case, these correlations are not coincidental. Its roots in Arthurian legend are plain to see. I would definitely recommend the movie to any Zelda fan who is looking for Zelda-like film. There is so much it mirrors from Zelda. There is so much that it mirrors from Zelda, and as a result, it is definitely legendary. It is a definitive legendary picture out of my library of movies. All right, brother. So this is a good read. What do you make of it?
I mean, if you could probably show the other page, I was just gonna be able to just tell them exactly what the Triforce is. Because it's saying the Triforce with all three pieces united. The Triforce is the ultimate force behind all things. It is capable of granting the wish of those who lay hands on it. But only the first person to touch it will have their wish granted. It is said that their wish will hold true until the user dies. The three triangles of the Triforce, which represent wisdom, courage, and power, have at times been split into pieces and scattered for fear of misuse. The Triforce does not discriminate between good and evil desires, but a balance of power, wisdom, and courage is required to unlock its full force. And one must demonstrate these qualities through sacred rituals. If someone unworthy touches it, the three parts will separate, and with only the piece best representing the one who tested remaining. The remaining two pieces will reside in those chosen by the goddesses, and a triangular mark will appear on the back of their hand. To obtain its true power, one must acquire all three pieces of the Triforce. As the separate pieces of the Triforce draw near each other, they will resonate as they try to become one. In Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf touches it, and it splits apart. All that remains in him is the Triforce of power. While wisdom resides within, the power resided with Ganondorf, while wisdom resided with Princess Zelda, and courage within Link, King Arthur, a boy who will become the hero of time. The battle of the Triforce is waged since its creation and shall continue without stop, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much that's what the Triforce is talking about. It's like the Trinity, in the video games, or like they said, they compared it to the Holy Grail. You know, those triangles are important to our cultures also. You feel me?
Right, absolutely. When we dealing with uh, the number one shape, the most primordial shape, we're going to deal with the circle, or I guess the dot first, but then the circle. And the circle and the square are identical, but they're opposites because they're both 360 degrees. Half of that circle and half of that square, well, particularly the square, half the square, is going to give you that triangle, which is 180 degrees. Um, when you look at 180 degrees, that's 1 and 8 is going to give you the 9. When you're dealing with that triangle, you're going to see three sides. When you're dealing with the triangle, you're going to see uh, man, woman, and child. Death comes in threes. You're going to see a repetition of threes, 666. You're going to see, in terms of this three, uh, Earth, Sun, and Moon, proton, neutron, electron, good, bad, indifferent. The trifecta, the first three people, first place, second place, third place. There's going to be so many correlations to that triangle. The power of three. I don't know if I think I said it. Death comes in threes. The power of three is occultic by all means. You got something that you're trying to share, brother? What's going on? Just unmute your mic. Let us know what you got here.
Yeah, that's my apologies. I thought you could hear what I was saying, but I was saying, yeah, I just wanted to play this because I feel like in 5 to 10 seconds, it's gonna show everything that we basically was talking about. And I had already told you that I kind of compare, even He-Man to the Zelda and the King Arthur.
Only 3 others share this secret. Our friends, the sorceress.
Yeah. Hey, tell me that wasn't telling me what it is, though. You feel me? That was pretty much exactly, like He-Man ain't the man without his sword.
Oh,
His sword gave him the power like Excalibur. You feel me? And he was gonna go to showing his female counterpart. I should have probably just showed it, but yeah, it's only a few seconds. I might as well. But his female companion, and she looks like an Egyptian. Other than the white skin they trying to put on the people, but she got on the headdress and everything like an Egyptian. And then he got a magician that's his his friend, which is basically like Merlin.
ooh.
Watch this. Hold on, I'm gonna go back because it's almost done anyway.
And our others share this secret. Our friends, the sorceress. And our distance has been on all of our minds.
Hey, look, they're trying to get off, huh? Ain't they something else?
Yeah, just mute it and let it play. You gotta get. Yeah. This is racism.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Back to the program.
Our friends, the sorceress.
You see her?
And Together.
Yeah,
you
I saw
see
that.
You see her? She coming off, like Hyrule and like the rest of the crew. You feel me? she got the the Falcon headdress or the Hawk or whatever.
Our friends,
she got it going on.
And she has the Ma'at thing with the wings as well, angelic.
All of that. You feel me? That's exactly what it is.
Sorceress.
And then his homeboy. He can be compared to a lot of different things. But see, that's what I was saying. His little magician. That's his Merlin. You feel me?
Right.
Like all of it. Like his little castle that he was protecting right here. Like
fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword.
The day he, fabulous magical secrets were revealed to him. The day he held his magical sword. Hey, it's like Highlander. When they chop a head off, they get strong.
Mm.
So that sword gave him power. They knuckles never would have.
Said by the power of Grayskull.
You see that castle? The Skull Mountain, almost like a kind of remind you of a holy. And you see the symbol on his chest. You see it.
Yeah, that's like that.
Yeah, that's that. Like you can find that on the KKK Bible. Like
the holy.
That's that Roman cross.
Yeah, the KKK Bible is called the Quran, spelled with a K. The Holy Quran or something like that.
Yeah. and you know, they definitely got their Roman influence all on them. They're showing you, you know, yeah, you know, and that's something we grew up on. You know, we went from He-Man to Zelda to King Arthur to the Moors who are the real knights of the Round Table.
Mm.
You know, that was our evolution. And you know, we're gonna have to take everybody else through this trail. You feel me? You know, once you walk that path enough times, you know, it's a road now. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, brother, you took me down a rabbit hole on this one.
Yes, sir. You already know we always got to bring. Hey, make sure that everybody start packing their carrots. You know, when we go down these rabbit holes, you got to bring your lunch. So bring your carrots. You know, and hey, pack it up. Let's go.
It's going to be an all-day trip. You already know. So this has been another episode, the late night show. The late night show. No kids allowed. The kids should be in bed by now. Only the adults are up. Got your whatever candles burning. You know, you got some incense, some sage burning. You know, this is a cool evening thing. Brother, can you give us your last words?
I mean, you already know it's the cult of video games. You feel me? It's your boy D Calico. You know, until next time. Peace.
Until next time, brother, I definitely appreciate it. Peace.